Hello, hello, hello. It's Tina from CNC Designs. Happy Friday. I'm gonna do the usual, take care of some housekeeping and see if I can pull us up on the page so that we can get started. If you come in and you see that red live button above my head, that means you have caught me live. Please drop a hello in the comments so that I can say hello back to you. If you do not see that red live button, please say hello in the comments anyway so that I can be sure to speak to you. We are broadcasting live tonight from two places, here from CNC Designs as well as from the Crafting Network. And I'm just looking to see if I can find us so that we can get started. Okay. Just a second, let's see if we can find our live. Hello, Miss Patterson. Hello, Miss Mays. How are you, my friends? I'm trying to see if I can pull us up on the page so I can see comments. Happy Friday. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay, I think I might have found us. Here we are. So how is everyone's Friday so far? I'm so glad it's Friday. So glad I don't have to get up early in the morning tomorrow. So we're gonna be continuing crafting with our Magnolia stencil of the month, and that came with our craft club kit. Just want to give you guys some more ideas, and I'm going to create another little vignette and just show you how it looks when you're dealing with different colors and different mediums. Hello Yadi, how are you, my friend? So I have a surface here that I've already base coated. I've base coated this surface with a acrylic paint. I'm trying to see if I have it around here so I can find it for you guys. I don't remember the exact name of the paint. I'll share it with you though before we get off live. But I base coated our surface, and I base coated the second one of 3 eggs that comes in our craft kit. Craft of the month, craft club kit this month. And my signal, okay. I was going to say, I thought I lost you guys. So here we go. We have this surface already base coated. We are going to do our usual. We're going to do a little bit of embellishment like we always do. This surface, if you see, it already has a little pattern in it because I painted over it. Hi Jen, how are you? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the stencil that came out, thanks Jen, in the craft club this month. And we're gonna put this on top, and we're gonna do that in kind of a tone on tone look. I'm really trying to show you guys ways to work with it using the same tones, and then how to go and use the same stencil but with another paste color to show you the difference. So this paste color that we're using tonight is called Dough, and it is very similar, hello Miss Fanny, to the color that we have here. So that's going to give us a little bit of a tonal look. And then we're going to use our larger egg, and we're going to do kind of a contrasting, well, almost a contrasting look. I think my paste should have had a little bit of maintenance. Okay, here we go. So who's got plans this weekend? What you doing? Where you going? Where you hanging out? I think this is definitely, this will probably provide a nice tone on tone look. And this will also be because it's so tonal, it doesn't look so Eastery. I think you'll be able to keep it out all spring season, even with your egg, because of the colors. Hello, George Smith. Thank you for joining. So we are just moving along with our stencil. This craft club is going to be available until the last day of this month. So if you really like this stencil, join craft club. If you don't have a Magnolia rep that you follow, certainly I would love to have you join my craft club. But if you are already following a rep, get with your rep and get into craft club so that you can get this stencil. Oh, this is gorgeous. Let me just put this here. And I just want to show you that. That is gorgeous. I love it. Really, really nice. Okay. So now here's our larger egg. These large eggs I got from Dollar Tree. I've had mine for about 2 seasons, but I know they are back out this season. So if you haven't gotten it, you can definitely pick it up. Oh, you with your grandkids? That's awesome. So this comes is wool, like a natural wood, and I just base coated it with a beige acrylic paint. And then this one is the smaller one of 3 that comes in the craft club kit this month. So I've been pairing my craft club kit eggs with larger eggs from Dollar Tree so we can create these kind of vignettes. So I've already gone ahead and base coated this. I want to use the same dough color on here, which is why I did not clean the stencil this time. I'm gonna try and see if I can get another lay without too much. You know what? No, let me just do what I've been doing. Let me clean it a little bit. I was gonna try not to clean it and just go ahead and get a second lay, but I feel like sometimes I don't get it. It's not as crisp when I do that. So let me stick to what works best for me. And let's clean it a little bit. Let's try to get some of this paste off of the stencil so that we're starting with somewhat a sort of a clean landscape. Hi, Tracy Van. How are you? Hello, James Sullivan. How are you? Thank you for joining. I love this stencil. I love the way these eggs have been coming out. I hope you guys have loved them as well. Hope you're not sick of seeing me do it. I think though this weekend I will be probably finishing up what I am going to have is the last of Easter creations. And then I will have them on my for sale page because I want to move into creating some awesome gifts for Mother's Day. More white. Let's try and get some of that paste up out of the way. I'm just gonna sit this right here in my lap for a sec while I clean up my backing sheet. And I'm gonna get a paper towel just to try to dry that off a bit. I want to lay this face up and get one pass. I'm well, James, thank you. And just try to do one more pass here with my antiseptic wipe. And I'm gonna tap dry with my, you can see the tackiness on these stencils is awesome. And that's what makes it so easy to use over and over again. As long as you clean them, you can go right back and make another creation with the same stencil I'm gonna take my tacky towel and I am going to lay my stencil in here on the gray side just to try to whisk away some of that moisture. Hello, Casey, how are you? I hope you are well, you and the family. Thank you for stopping by and watching me. Okay, guys. Okay, so I think we are ready now to bring our egg back, and let's go back in with our chalk paste in the color dough. We're gonna go back with the same color because this I wanted to have on a larger one sort of a more of a contrasting look. So we'll see how that works. And then we'll do something different on the back, of course. Or, I don't know, maybe, no, yeah, we'll do something different on the back of this one. Bring it down a little bit more. Oh my goodness, guys, this is absolutely gorgeous. I know I'm a rep and I know I use these stencils a lot, but they just always come out so absolutely gorgeous. What do you guys think about that? I love it. I absolutely love this. Hi Lori, how are you? So who's liking what we got so far? Here is our surface so far, tone on tone almost with the stencil. And now we've got our egg. I'm just gonna get a dry on here because I would like to flip this over on the other side. I am gonna use the same pattern, but I think I'm going to not do the whole egg so we can have a slightly different look. Thank you, Yadi. So these are, you know, the kind of little tips and tricks that I want to bring to you as a Magnolia stencil user. This stencil is so versatile. You can use it in many different ways and you won't necessarily get the same look all the time depending on how you place the stencil. If you look, for example, at this one, you can see the flowers and everything are more straight up and down. In our base, in our surface, they're more across. So they, although it's the same stencil, they give you two different looks. And that's one of the things that I love about these stencils. I'm just tapping here, making sure I got it dry before we go forward. So I'm gonna flip this over. And like I said, we are gonna use the same stencil. This time I'm not gonna I'm not gonna try and clean too much, but I am gonna apply a little bit of this stencil, not on the entire egg, but on some of it. And hopefully my vision will come out, and hopefully I don't have too much paste on here already, which is why I like to clean my stencil in between. And put the excess back in our pot. And let's get, okay, let me just put my stencil down so that this paste can begin to release itself. So that when I get to the sink, it'll be easy to wash off. And some nice cool water, and we'd be ready to use it again. I'm gonna clean off my little stir stick here, wipe off our squeegee. And I'm going to let you see what it looks like when it's just applied and on some of the stencil. And we'll do something else in the remaining blank spots. So here's the other side where we didn't put it on the whole egg, but you can see that stencil there as well. I'm loving it. It's looking really, really good. And I think this one is gonna be hard for me to part with. I like these colors because you guys know I'm a neutral girl, so all of these colors are really, really speaking to me. I love the blue set that we did last week, and I have a couple of other pieces that I'm adding to that vignette that I will definitely share with you, but these neutrals are really, really speaking to me. Thank you, Miss Fanny. I love that you always put hearts up in the colors that we're using that night. I really like that. So I just want to clean off my backing sheet because I do want to put my stencil back on it, and I don't want that paste to dry. So let's get that cleaned really quick. And see, it's starting to dry already. But it's coming up. I just gotta put a little bit of elbow grease in it. Okay, let me just set that over there. So now we've got that done and out of the way. We do need to, unfortunately, we are gonna need to clean that stencil one more time because I wanna do contrasting on our little egg and that color. Hi Beth, how are you? Hello Ramona, how are you? Thank you for joining us. So I'm gonna just bring the whole tray over here and let's see if we can get a bit of a clean this way. So you guys are getting to see me clean stencils a lot tonight. Sorry about that, but I want to use the stencil more than once, and absent a sink, this is the quickest and easiest way to do something like this. Okay, have to bring that back. Where is, oh, here we go. Gotta multitask when you don't have a lot of space. Gotta just improvise and find space in all kinds of places. So your lap becomes a desk. The perils of life when you don't have a craft room. So we're gonna try to just clean this really quick. Try to get most of this dough color out because we are going in with another paste color, and I really don't want to mix the two. So that's why I'm trying to get most of this paste out of the stencil before we use it again. I love to use my backing sheet for this purpose, but I'm noticing that some of them, I'm getting them a little warped on the sides, so I may have to order some extra backing sheets, which is a good thing that I'm happy that Magnolia actually sells them. Hello, Ortega Cruz, first timer. Thank you for watching and welcome. I hope this won't be your last. I hope you enjoy what we do tonight and you will come back again and join us. We usually are live every Monday at about 8 o'clock. And on Fridays, we do what I call late night crafting, which is always at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. So this is our fuzz cloth again. I'm gonna just put it in here so that I can try and whisk some of that moisture off and get it somewhat dry. when we lay it down on our surface. So I'm just gonna flip it over to the other side and try to get as much of that moisture out as we can. Yes, I love it too, Miss Fanny. This stencil is amazing. I'm hoping that Magnolia, from time to time, they do, somewhere down the line, will separate the craft club kits and eventually, maybe later on in the year, sell the stencil by itself singularly. This is one that I definitely would buy a second one of, because I could see myself getting a lot of use out of this, because it's a pattern stencil. You can, you know, you can do an all over pattern, and it's repetitive, so you can kind of set it right next to each other if you were using a large surface, and just have a continuous pattern. You don't have to worry about any breaks or any lines, which is another thing that makes me really, really like this stencil. So now we're gonna use a contrasting color. I forgot to tell you guys what color. I'm sure I'm using, yes I am, Irish Cream, which is one of my favorite Magnolia paste colors. I've got a lot of paste here, not necessary, so we don't need all of that. I'm just scraping some back into our tub. As long as you don't mix the paste with another color, you can definitely take the excess off and put it back into the tub, and it'll be fine. I think I got that pretty covered. Okay. Just switch that. So here it is with the contrasting Irish Cream. So you can see same stencils, same exact stencil, different looks depending on your paste, different pop colors, and I just love it. I love the versatility of it all, and these three pieces are going to make an awesome set. So I can't wait to embellish these. Whose is your first name? My name is Tina. And welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, Lena Miller, how are you? Hello, Kimberly, how are you? Thank you for watching. We are working with a Magnolia stencil this evening. It is from our monthly craft club kit this month. Our craft club came with that stencil that we just finished using, and it came with 3 eggs this size for you to embellish and use for your Easter decor. I have chosen to take my stencils and pair them with these bigger Dollar Tree eggs that I'm sure everybody has seen. If you've watched crafters, you've probably seen a lot of them using these. So I am using one of the small craft club eggs and a larger Dollar Tree egg to make a couple of vignettes. I'll share with you before we get off the blue set that we did last week that came out really, really nice. So I'm just having a good time with this craft club. And if you were a member, for example, you could do something similar. You could make yourself a set like this if you get one of these large eggs from Dollar Tree. And then you can take your other 2 small ones, make 2 different sets, give them to friends. You can do a lot of things with these this month. Yes, Yadi, I am in New York. I live in the Bronx, New York. I work in Manhattan. I literally live at the beginning of the Bronx, and I travel all the way through Manhattan to the end of Manhattan to work every day. I am New York born and raised. Love New York, but feeling like might be time for me to leave. Feeling the need to have a little bit more sunshine, but I love New York because of the fact that we well, until recently, we have always had truly 4 seasons. And that's one of the things that I love most about New York, is the fact that we get to experience all 4 seasons and not just all summer or all winter. So now we've got our pieces with our main elements down. You're from Michigan? Awesome, welcome again. And I like to edge my pieces, so I'm looking at some distressed oxides I have here to see which ones go best with my color palette that we're working with tonight. I think I want to start out maybe with fossilized amber on this one, because it is more of a kind of a yellow tone. So I'm thinking that, oh, definitely, please let me know, Yadi, please. So I'm thinking that this might give me a good edge here. And I always tell everyone, especially when you're using the tonal oxide, sometimes you might think this is not really making a difference. Trust me when I tell you, edge your product. It does make a huge difference. You can see the difference. You can see those edges pop out. Even though that color is in the same family, I'm sure you can see how those edges now are really defined just by using that distressed oxide and just really just going around on those edges and bringing them out. And you can go just on the edge like I'm doing. You can go in certain places, bring the color up a little bit more up onto your piece, as we did in that corner. So you can really see the difference when you edge your pieces. Whether it's the same color family or not, it is worth the time to do it. It gives your pieces a much more professional look. Make sure you do your sides. And with this one, I did do these feet on these 4 corners, but I am gonna go back in and do something here because I just don't like that wood showing. This is how it was originally, and here we are now. I'm even thinking about possibly painting the bottom of this. So that's going to be our edging for this particular piece. That tray is from a past Magnolia Craft Club, Yadi. I think it might even be a surface now that's available for sale. I have to check that. If it is, when I put the links at the end of this live to Craft Club, I will certainly put the link to that surface if it is available separately. So I think for this one, I think we're on a smaller egg. I think we're gonna also go around these edges with the fossilized amber. And again, these are Tim Holtz distressed oxides. They have distressed oxides and inks. I just happened to start buying a bunch of the oxides, so that's why I started using them first. But I just wanted to show you, this is the side with the edging. This is the side without. So even though the tones are similar, you can see the difference when you edge the piece and when you don't edge the piece. I really think that the side that is edged definitely pops out more for you than the side that does not. So I'm going to just continue to go around here, even on that bottom piece, and edge it with this fossilized amber. So there we go. Now, if you know me, you know I love to pay attention to my sides, my front, the back. I just love to pay attention to all of it. I love everything about bringing that visual interest and texture onto the piece. So I have a IOD stamp here that's kind of, it mimics a crackle. I love this. I love the way it looks on these eggs, and I'm sure you will understand why really soon. So I'm just trying to find a color that I think will make this crackle stand up. I'm gonna start with the antique linen. It is a really neutral color, so it may not pop as much as I would like it. So we may then switch to a darker color. We'll see. I'm not seeing too much visually there with this, so we might have to step down a color. I have a pumice stone that's more of a grayish kind of tone. Let's try that. You just play around with it until you get something that you think you like. That does show up, but not as much as I would like. So I'm gonna step it down even another color, and I'm gonna go more on the brown side. I have gathered straw and I have a brushed corduroy. I think I'm gathered twig, sorry. Let's try the brushed corduroy. These are more in the brown family, so they should show up a lot better. Okay, I can see it coming through. So let's see if we can get some more down. I probably need to ink my stamp pads as well, re-ink them rather. And I'm hoping that you can see that. Yeah, when I pull it back, you can see that it is showing up on those edges. So I'm just gonna do that all down my sides initially. And it doesn't matter how it really looks because you're just doing this for texture. You're not trying to have the design be so visible. You don't care if you only have a pieces of the design. You're just using this for visual interest. And so that these sides don't look so bland and unattended to. Hello, Shirley Perry. Hi, Dottie Snyder. How are you? Thank you for popping in and joining us tonight. We are creating some Easter decor with some eggs from our Magnolia Design Company's monthly craft club kit, as well as the large Dollar Tree wood eggs. So here you can see those sides now. They have been well attended to up on the top. And now we have the back of our egg. And if you know me, you've been watching me, hanging out with me, you know that that will not stay unattended. So we're going to use another kind of stencil on the back of this egg. And this we're going to provide some texture with. Now I have some spackling that I have mixed with some Waverly paint. It is, I forget the name. How could I forget that name when I use it all the time? It's not the white. It'll come to me in a second, guys. But I have mixed it with that paint. And what I'm going to do is, because I want to tint this spackle paint mixture a little bit, I am going to scoop a little bit out onto my plate, and I'm going to put a little bit of, I think I'm going to put a little bit of the Irish cream in it, so that our back colors can be the same as our front, but it'll be a different pattern. I mixed my spackle with the paint and some baking soda. So that's why I have this texture this thick. I like mine to be really thick. You can, you know, thin it out by putting some water in there and stirring it, but I like this. So I like to keep it rather thick, just because when I use stencils like this, it gives it a really good texture and feel when I apply. Again, the same thing. I'm not gonna put this on the whole egg, but I am going to give it enough texture so that it will look awesome. I wonder which one do I want to use. I think I'll use this spatula. I don't want it to be so white, so let me add a little bit of my paste in here to see if I can get this to mix. I don't want to contaminate. Yo, I got a science project going on here. How many of you actually mix baking soda with your paint to thicken it up? It's an awesome, awesome process. If you haven't done it and you want to apply texture, kind of like what we're doing tonight, just get you some plain old baking soda and mix it with your paint, and it'll give it a nice texture. I think I want a little more because I want it to be a little bit darker. Okay, I think I have, let me see if I have it here at the table. I do have some Magnolia, our brown paste. I'm gonna see if I can put a little dab of that in there. Just a little dab of it. I may even be able to take it right off of this foil here. The trick is not to contaminate my paste, so I have to use different tools because I don't want to mix my colors. Okay, so now let's see what we come up with. Just a little darker was what I wanted, so that it really shows up on our egg, and I think that will work. Okay, so I'm just gonna let you have a little peek at what we have here on our plate. We're gonna be working with that color there. And let's see now if we can apply this to our egg. Let me get this out of there. Okay. And you're just gonna just scrape right over your stencil. Put that paint baking soda mixture right onto that stencil. I just went in the opposite. You want to go in one direction. I just lifted a little. Hopefully I didn't do too much damage by lifting it. And I like to just kind of do a raise type of thing, just because that gives it a little bit more texture. Nice. So I'm going to show you that side of our egg. Same color wave. This one just has a little bit more of a raised texture. So what do you guys think of what we're doing so far? Do you like this? You did it once, Yadi? I love combining baking soda in my paints for things such as this because it just gives it such a nice thickness. Thank you for those hearts. Hello, Lisa. How are you? Thank you for watching. Thank you, Miss Fanny. So we're gonna just dry this. I love the way this came out. I'm gonna dry it enough so that we can continue handling. You with the tea? And like I said, I love this color combination because it works for Easter, but it's not so Eastery that I would feel like I need to take it down like the day after Easter. Oh, I got a little bit of something on here, some color that wasn't supposed to be there. But there is our front, there is our back, we've done our sides, we've got some texture with the stamp on the sides. So we're rocking and rolling right along. Now let's bring our big one back in. So this is what we're going for. We're going for a vignette that all works together. And I think this is gonna be awesome when we finish. Now I just wanna turn my attention to the back here. Thank you for those hearts, because remember, we only applied the stencil on a portion of this egg on the back. So I am looking to see what we will do with the rest of the egg, the rest of that blank space, not all of it, but definitely some of it, as well as we've got to edge this piece. And I'm thinking, do I want to go straight in with our gathered twigs, or do we want to also try and be somewhat neutral with our antique linen? I'm going to try the antique linen at first, and let's see what that does. I like the tone on tone, because when you do that, especially when you edge the piece, I really think that you can really see the difference, although they are not, you know, they're in the same color family. So this side is edged, this side is not. You guys see the difference? Am I the only one who gets excited about that? Miss Cruz, I've been going live now for probably a little over, what, a year, and maybe going on 2 years now. Definitely started, actually, 22. Yeah, this probably is going into my 3rd year. I've been crafting all my life, practically. And I have been watching a lot of creators do things on Facebook and YouTube, and always had a desire to go live, but was really afraid of going live until I found a crafter on here, which is Jen from She's Crafty USA. I saw her going live, and I fell in love with Magnolia products with Jen, and I decided to give it a shot and become a Magnolia rep, and then try my first Facebook Live. I was nervous. I did not feel like I had all the proper equipment to go live, and quite honestly, I still don't. I really would love a different setup, but you know what? Somebody once told me, you do it afraid. So, because if you don't do it afraid, sometimes you will never do it. If you're waiting for the right time, the right equipment, you'll always find every excuse. You've been painting ceramic bits for 13 years now. Wow. You know, I used to live in Germany, and I used to work in a craft shop in Germany, and I used to be one of the managers there, and I worked with a lot of ceramic bisque. I wish I could find a place in New York where I could go back and do that. I loved it. I made so many things, lamps, vases, and it was just amazing. I love, love, love working with it. So here is our egg now edged on both the front and the back. Well, this was the back and edged on the front. Now I need to do something on these sides. You guys know me. That's definitely have to be attended to. I am thinking, and I am gonna go probably a little bit darker with this as well, and we'll probably use the brush corduroy and see how we can put some texture onto the side of this large egg. I definitely need to re-ink my stamp pad so I don't have to press so hard. Do you go live, Miss Cruz? Do you go live, Cruz? You see it a little bit there, but it's not too much. So we can always step down a little deeper with, let's see, walnut stain first. And if that is not deep enough, then you all know we can go back to our old standby, which is our ground espresso. But I think this is going to give us some color. Can you guys see that? The lighting from this. Oh yeah, there it is. It's showing up. Okay, it's not standing up on my pad, so I have to lay it down. And I'm just going anywhere on the stamp because, like I said, you just want to create the visual interest. Oh, thank you so much for those stars. I really appreciate that. They're just gonna keep taking that right on up. And trust me, it makes a difference. Hello, Sue Thomas, how are you? So now you can see we've got texture everywhere here. You can see that when you slightly turn it from the front to the side, you see that texture everywhere. And that's what I really like to do with my pieces. I like you to have some visual eye candy. No matter where you're looking at that piece from, no matter what angle, I want you to see something that's gonna draw your eye in. Oh, it's gotten expensive. Yeah, I can imagine, like everything else. Yeah, I definitely never owned a kiln either, but that was one of the things I loved about living in Germany at the time. And I loved about working in a craft shop because I was able to teach people how to use the equipment, how to pour, and I could make all the stuff I wanted to make for free. It was like the dream job. Thank you. Okay, we're almost done with this, setting up the stencil on these sides here. Now I'm thinking I do want to add a little bit of this crackle up onto these blank spaces in this egg. So I'm going to try and ink my stamp a little bit more. This time I'm going to bring my stamp press in to help that crackle come out. And again, I'm just looking for texture. I'm not trying to make a pattern or anything like that. I just want some more visual interest. I don't want these sides, these beige sides, to just remain empty like that. That's not pleasing to me. And I'll show you in 1 second what I mean by that. So now you can see we have applied that crackle in those empty spaces. So that's where we are so far. And because this is an Easter project, I don't want to, I love using my dark wax, but I don't think I'm gonna bring too much of that in there. I really want this to be kind of more of a light, airy feel, so that it does feel more like a spring project. I think I am gonna probably bring in some additional stamps in here, maybe a floral of some sort on the back here. Let me just try and clean my hands because they're feeling very gritty. And we're gonna go into making a bow, and I can give you a sample of what this vignette is gonna look like. Of course, I'll be tinkering around with it again after the hour, just to get it just right before we post pictures. And this vignette will be for sale on my for sale page. I will make sure I'll leave links to all of that for you guys. But let's get our Bodabra out and let's look at what a bow might look like for this piece. And again, I want a bow with a lot of texture, a lot of visual interest. So I've taken out a couple of strips of fabric that I think might work with this. And I want to use this string tonight instead of jute, just because the color blends in with all the other colors that we've been using. I never know how to start these things, so I always make a mess of these rolls. But they don't make it easy to start. Here's the end, okay. Here we go. So this is gonna be our tie piece. We're gonna put that down in the middle, and we're gonna look at this little bundle that I put together because I thought these colors might work. Now the test will come, because as we see these two eggs together, we will see what's working, what's not working. Might as well, because I have the same colors in both bundles. I think that might look nice. We're looking for that spring airy look. I just want to make sure I take out anything that I feel no longer works. I like that. This might be a little bit, no, that might work. Okay, I think we've got a good bundle here. So let's go for our bow on our biggest one first. Let's move that over to the side. Okay, so I have this fabric strip with some pretty florals on it. I think that'll look really nice. And because this is not double-sided, we've got to always make sure that when we create our loops, we flip it so that the pretty side is the side that's always facing us. I think I want to make my loops a little bit bigger. Okay, and we're just gonna go in and create these loops with all of these pretty colored fabrics. Bring in again some more texture and create us a really nice bow. Okay. We've got some creepy cloth here. I talk about creepy cloth all the time. This is the stuff that you buy from Dollar Tree around Halloween that they use, I don't know, like to create spider webs of some sort. I like this because in a bow, it gives really great texture. So when you see these at the end of the Halloween season in Dollar Tree and they haven't sold them all, grab you a handful because they look amazing in bows. I don't think I have enough to make another set of loops. So what I'm gonna do is these two pieces I'm just gonna throw in a cross hatch. Actually, I'll put those in next. We got another piece here. This is drop cloth. Just torn drop cloth. You can get some homespun fabric and cut it up in strips. Sometimes I coffee stain my fabrics. Some of these are coffee stained, some of them are not. We got some lace here, because I want this bow to really, really look nice. I'm hoping that it will pop off the egg really nicely. I have a piece here that has a little bit of yellow in it. This is a piece of drop cloth, and I just painted it. As you can see, it's even still spotty, but I painted it with yellow paint. So when you don't have the proper color ribbon, but if you got you some drop cloth or any type of fabric that you can paint, get out some paint that you have that matches your piece and paint you some fabric and then cut it into strips. And that can be your ribbon for your bow. Okay, almost up. I have this green color. You know what? It's a spring egg, right? So let's put these spring colors in here. If we don't like it, we can take it out. Now let's throw these two pieces in there, cross hatch pattern, and we have one more strip, so we might as well put that in there, and then we can see what this bow is looking like. I do have some greenery here, but I don't think I'm gonna put that in there. I do have this wire kind of twine thing. You know what? Let me see if I can make a bow with that. That would be interesting. Put that in there and let's make some loops. This will make some great bunny ears. I might have to make a bunny now that I'm using this. Now one more, guys. Now let's see what we have. Let's bring our ends up, our ties. Get enough of a hold here to lift this out. And let's press down. I like to press in the middles so that I can define the middle of my bow. So I like to put all those fabrics, make them press down on top of one another. And I want to make sure I get a nice tight center. And now I'm going to double that. And I'm going to just leave that hanging out there for a sec. I like to take my bows and just kind of give them a shake, because that allows those loops and tails to just kind of fall naturally where they want to fall. And then I go in and start my manipulating of my loops. I'm loving all the different color fabrics here. I think this bow is coming out really, really cute. Thank you so much. We will definitely trim these tails up, but let's get our egg back and let's look at placement for this bow. We definitely need to trim our tails. I'm going to trim most of these down here collectively, and I'm going to throw it back down here, and we'll see where individually we need to trim. I do not like anything in the center of my pieces. So my bows, any kind of embellishments that I put on something like this, it probably will always be off to the side or catty cornered or something. I don't know, something about centers, just dead center just doesn't look, I don't care too much for it. Sometimes it works, but most times you'll see me go off to the side or something. I'm just taking that creepy cloth and spreading it out more because it gives more texture that way. I'm just giving you a little sneak peek. That is amazing. I'm loving this, guys. I really hope you like this as much as I like it. I think I'm gonna have to cut some of these tails a little bit more, not too much. You don't want to cut your tails before you find placement on your piece, because you can always cut some off, but you can't add any on. So that's why I like to do my trimming probably at the last stages. And then I want to look for something that's going to go in the middle of this bow. I have a bag here with a bunch of Easter related things. We have little wood carrots. I had a couple of bunnies in here. This bunny is going to be too big, but he might work for the back, so we'll hold him off. I have some birds. I have some crosses. Here's another little bunny. Well, actually, a couple of them now. So I'm looking for what we're going to put in the middle of this bow to define its center. And I'm liking this little carrot. I also like the little bunny. Let's see if we can find another carrot. And here's one here, because I noticed that one I hole punched for something. I don't know for what. So I don't want one that's punched. I'm thinking the carrot might look good. And on the back, we could put this bunny, or we could put a cross. I think I even have other bunnies. This one is too big, I'm thinking. I have this one. I think he's a little bit too big. Maybe not, maybe not. We are 2 minutes over, so I need to put a move on it. Let me speed it up. Just looking for, what is that? We have a He Is Risen. We got quite a few things to play around with here. We even have a bunny butt. I like the bunny butt. Okay, let's go flip it back around to our front. Let's put our bow down. Oh my goodness, I love it. Let's put this back on the stand. What do you guys think? I really, really like that. Those colors are really popping. I love them. They look so good. Let's get our carrot. I think I want to see if I can give this carrot just a little bit of color. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my makeup brush. I'm going to get a little bit of color onto it, and I'm just going to use this oxide to bring some color to that carrot. So we got a little bit there, and then I think I want to take my brush corduroy and see if I can put a little bit on the edge of this carrot so that we can see that. Now it's much more defined. You like it, Miss Patterson? Thank you. I know I am definitely over time, but I don't think there's anybody next in the craft network, so. Oh my goodness, I love it. It is so cute. I think our tails, I'm gonna trim them again a little bit more, but I'm gonna leave that for now while we address the back, because I do want to at least get this back up before I let you all go. You sit right there. And what I'm gonna do with this, I'm gonna do the same thing, but the only thing I am using the crushed brush corduroy. I don't know why I keep calling it crushed. I'm just giving it a little tint of color. Now you could paint these, but I think these oxides definitely help to give it color without you having to necessarily paint it. And the more oxide, of course, you add, the darker your piece can be. I just want enough color on here so that when we put it up against this egg, you can see it. So with that, because we use the brushed oxide, I am gonna bring in a little bit of ground espresso, and I'm gonna go around the edge of this bunny. I'm gonna go on his little toes, just to, again, make it pop a little. We're gonna take a little bit of this antique linen and bring it in. I may even do some splatters on this bunny butt, just a little to give it some more color. Let me get a little bit of this paste out here, because we're gonna do a little bit of splattering. So we've got to add a little bit of water. So I've got a little bit of the brown chalk paste. I'm gonna spritz a little bit of water there. I'm gonna get a fan brush. And I just want to tap it into that water paint mixture. And I'm going to take our bunny and I'm going to apply a few splatters on him. Okay, so you can see him, he's got a little splatters now. That is so cool. And we're going to flip our egg over and apply our bunny butt. And again, I don't like anything center, so I am putting his little bunny butt off to the side as well. I am gonna go back in and do some gold splatters on that side, but here's our front. We're gonna definitely trim those tails a little bit. And here's the back with the bunny butt. This is so cool. So what do you guys think? This is gonna be the first one on the first egg on our vignette. I'm gonna do a little bit more on our embellishing on the sides here. We're gonna add a smaller bow on our small egg, and this is gonna be the vignette. What do you think about this piece? I love every one of them. They all blend and mix so well together. I love these colors. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me tonight. I hope it was worth the extra 10 minutes because we usually try to finish up in an hour. I will continue to trim our bow a little bit. I'll add a little bit of my gold accent on the edges, and then I will post some pics so you all can see, along with some links in case any of you want to get that craft club kit so that you can make your own creations for Easter. As always, I had a great time with you. I hope you had a great time with me. Have a great rest of your night. Have a blessed rest of your weekend. And I will see you all soon. In the meantime, here are some hearts from my heart to yours always. Thank you for joining, everybody. Have a great night. Bye-bye.